Hello guys and welcome back to the show. A couple of viewers suggested that I should start a series about my favorite games, and because of I'm open to suggestions and this was an idea that I thought was actually quite sensible, I decided to take it up, and to add an extra twist to it I decided to make a study out of it, a literature study, so that everyone can have access to it. And the other thing is that I decided that I'm not necessarily going to show you my favorite games per se, but I'm going to show you a selection of games that I really like, and one that I memorized a fair while ago. I think it is a very cool learning technique to memorize chess games for a lot of reasons. If you are a chess coach like myself, it comes super duper handy if you have got a fair few games. We're talking about somewhere between 50 to 100 memorized, because you can literally never get caught off guard when you need to present some topic or whatever the case may be. But improving your memory helps you with memorizing openings, memorizing patterns. It's basically a tool, or rather I should say an exercise that can never really hurt. Oopsie, I accidentally opened up a different page. So yeah, the idea is that I'm going to show you here games that I really like, and ones that I memorized for the sake of teaching, and I suggest that you pinch a few from here, and potentially you also have games of your own that you really like. So it's a good idea to extend your repertoire as far as memorized games are concerned. The first one is going to be a shorty, Tal versus Salnikov, a very famous game with a very famous motif that I really like to show to my students, although I need to emphasize already that the sacrifice that we are going to see in this game is actually unsound. Mind you, this was part of Tal's genius, that he made unsound but really good sacrifices. As he himself put it once, there are sacrifices, or something along the lines of, there are two types of sacrifices: the ones that are correct and the rest are mine, which is a really clever and witty call. Alright, so this is a somewhat odd version of the knight e2 French, because normally white prefers to have this knight here so that he can back up the e5 pawn with the other knight. So if this knight is here, then the other knight can go to f3, so basically we'll have this knight formation when the knight on e2 covers the d4 pawn and the knight on f3 covers the e5 one. Whereas in this setup, although we are a tempo ahead, the knight on d2 has got no obvious role. So after f6, Tal decided to launch an immediate attack by knight g5, which is a very speculative sacrifice and actually is not a correct one. From the top of my head, I actually don't remember the refutation, but I think at one stage white needs to take on e5 before taking the piece. Black went on taking the piece right away, and after the check they played g6. This is pretty much forced, if I recall rightly. Yeah, I think that actually the key is here to take this guy and only then take here, so that after check the king can safely walk away and the e5 square is going to be a constant weakness. I think that's the refutation. Anyhow, check there, bishop took on g6. And of course the whole point of this exercise, sacrifice, is not to take the rook. We have already sacrificed two pieces, so pinching a rook is totally meaningless. We are still behind in material and we would give up all of our initiative. The point of the sacrifice is to take here, and after king e7 make a knight move that is going to threaten with bishop takes g5 check, almost checkmate. And I actually have different sources showing different moves here. Some sources claim that Tal he played knight c4. Other sources claim that he played knight e4. The point of the move is the same, wanting to clear the diagonal for the bishop, and at the same time wants to put the knight on a square from where it can potentially jump onto d6. I think that even here Black could have played a better move. I don't know why I can't get rid of with my arrows anymore. Anyway, from the top of my head, I think that knight takes e5 was the only way here to stay in the game, but I'm not 100% sure, because then the concept would be to leave the queen hanging, because white's queen is hanging as well. And I think that this is potentially survivable. Anyhow, in the game, they played bishop h6, which seems to be very logical because it covers the g5 square, and so bishop takes g5 no longer hurts us too badly. But in fact, that's not the case. And if you want to turn this game into a puzzle for yourself while you're watching this video, I suggest that you pause the video now and you try to figure out the rest. What white needs to achieve from here is either a forced mate or a huge lead in material. So if you want to do that, please pause the video now. If you want to listen to me and tell you how it's done, then just keep on watching. So what white did here was, of course, the stock standard checks, capture, threats, Holy Trinity, as I explained it in many videos before, takes. And this is the moment where we need to really be careful and smart. A lot of players go wrong in their calculations because they automatically retake stuff. And my daughter is talking to me now. I'm gonna fix it for you, honey, in a sec. But I'm first going to fix this position. So what we need to do here is that we don't retake, we go check here. This check literally takes away all the squares from the king e7, 4-1, king e8, and now knight d6 is a beautiful checkmate, an awesome attack, and indeed it would have been completely botched by queen takes g5, because after king f8 there is no way that white can achieve a checkmate. In fact, even the perpetual check is in doubt, and given that we're 2 pieces down, things are looking rather yeah, sad. So once again, the clever trick was to take the pawn, but then not to retake here, but go check again, and then follow it up with a beautiful mate. So this is basically how we are going to do this series. Easy games, little quick explanations. Hopefully I covered still the crucial points. And I'm going to put them all in one study, which is totally available to public, so you can use it, you can learn it from here, you can do lesson plans if you want, whatever. I'm just gonna be awesome and put it up there. So hopefully soon we'll have plenty of games available to everyone. So Tal-Salnikov, one of my all-time favorites, a very good way to teach kids about safety of king, importance of castling, and about how to do tactics, how to calculate checks and forcing lines in general. Since my daughter is getting very grumpy with me, it's time for me to log off and say thanks for watching, and I will be back with more soon. Thank you, bye.